For the first time in 3 years, Aristeo Cantu Jr. is making music with a brass instrument. The 17-year-old PSJ North student is playing a tuba-like sousaphone, something his doctors didn't think he'd ever be able to do again.
It's a miracle that was done by God, and He's blessed my life.
In July 2018, at the age of 14, Aristeo returned home after getting a haircut and suffered a massive stroke while taking a shower.
Like, boom, something hit me, like if someone whacked me with a bat, but the term I used was like being hit by a speeding train.
But it wasn't over. Aristeo, who felt dizzy after that first episode, would experience another one soon after.
But that one was worse because I started to lose all my balance. Everything started getting very cold, a cold that I've never felt before.
Remarkably, Aristeo was able to make it to his mother's room all the way down the hall.
I didn't know what, but I knew something was not right because there I started seeing Aristeo's life going away. His eyes were not rolling back, but I could see life just literally going back. So I remember telling him, stay awake, keep your eyes open, look at me all the time, don't close your eyes even if they feel heavy.
Aristeo's sister called 911, and by the time the ambulance arrived, Aristeo could no longer see or hear anything. And when he arrived at South Texas Health System Children's, the doctors and nurses had to act quickly.
And I didn't know what was going on, but they started calling a code blue, and for me, we had never gone through this before, so I didn't know what a code blue was. So then my daughter was in the lobby, and she calls me and she tells me, "It's that code blue for Aristeo?" And I said yes. And she's like, "Mom, we gotta pray because something bad is happening." They take me out of the room, and about 50 persons went into that room, a lot of nurses and doctors. And then they got a lot of people out, and about 20 to 30 people stayed in the room, just helping out. And there he dies for the first time.
Aristeo, who'd gone into cardiac arrest, was resuscitated and rushed to South Texas Health System McAllen's Comprehensive Stroke Center, where staff quickly moved to action after giving the family a minute to say goodbye, believing his chances of survival would be slim.
The long process, the longest process that we've gone through in life just started.
Miraculously, Aristeo survived that first surgery, where doctors discovered he had an extremely rare orange-sized malformation near his brain. He would end up undergoing 11 surgeries to clear the mass and repair the damage it caused, and survive 3 cardiac arrests, all during his 27 days in the ICU.
It is one of the roughest, or at least the roughest time of my life I have ever experienced.
Following his ICU stay, Aristeo would have to spend another month in the hospital for inpatient rehabilitation.
I had to take physical and occupational therapy to help me walk. They had to strap me to these machines so I could stay standing so I wouldn't fall down. And I also had to take speech therapy. It's very hard for people who have to go through recovery. Sometimes I wanted to give up. I wanted to I was hoping there was an easy way out. But later I would have to realize that this is not going to be easy.
It would take him a year to confidently walk on his own again. And 3 years later, Aristeo, who hasn't had any serious medical issues since, says he's at 99.9%, a far cry from the prognosis his family was initially given that day in July 2018.
Their last result was he will be a vegetable and he will be in a ventilator for life. So from there to now, I could see how God's power has worked, so much in his life. I could see all this effort that he has also put, and all the therapists and doctors that they have put, to continue helping him out.
While there were no warning signs leading up to Aristeo's stroke event, Ruth encourages all parents to pay close attention to their children's health and seek medical attention when they say they're not feeling well. And for anyone who is undergoing a medical issue or currently in recovery, Aristeo encourages you to keep fighting.
It's gonna be scary and it's gonna be hard. But what I can tell them is that they shouldn't give up. That they can rise to the challenge and there will be victory at the end. This is because it's honestly amazing. May?
Yeah.
I can stand up. I was supposed to be in a wheelchair and I can stand up. I can move my arms like this. My head was just like this all day. They had to rest it back on a chair, but my head is moving up and down with ease. So, yeah, all I can say is don't give up.